from sunny Sheepfield, Anglesey in North Wales. You're watching the cycling wait, what was his name again? Maven. You're watching the cycling Maven vlog. Have a good one, you cracking humans.
Alright, a couple of people wanted to know an update on the crazy lady, the lady that's been harassing Hannah. We haven't seen her. I think the cops have got her, and hopefully she's getting the help that she needs, because she's definitely, and I don't mean from a hardware store, because she's definitely got a few screws loose. Alright, you first class legends. I am just leaving work now. It's a cracking day. I couldn't vlog this morning because I had a flat battery on this camera, but charged it at work and I'm back in business. Just going to meet up with Steve and Lane now, and we're going to go through a few bits and pieces from the results of the test, my skin folds, some results, and what to do for the next few weeks. Alright, so Steve has asked me to meet him at the end of the boulevard, which is where I was riding the other day, but he's asked me to meet him at the top of this really steep hill, which starts in about 3 meters. So that's just typical coach sadistic behavior. So I'm gonna have to ride up this hill, and I'm gonna try and do it while vlogging. This hill, Walmer Street, tears, tears, tears. I'm gonna let this guy go. Oh, it's a hard road back. It really is a hard road back to getting fit again. It's a long road, you know, and it's very easy to hang the boots up and put the bike in the shed, and before you know it, you're unfit again. So
I'm spewing. I was going to slide down the bottom corner and just dash past you, but my phone rang.
I thought this was some sadistic coach thing to make me...
Yeah, you always meet someone at the top of a hill.
You want it, you want it, you want it,
Stephen's obviously is lean, fit machine. He's got a brownie, and I've got no brownie. No brownie. But you're allowed to, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I'll allow myself today.
A few people mention, just on the coffee, a few people mention, you know, get off the coffee, it's a sign of a nutritious diet. I gotta be honest with you, I've gone off coffee. I've done this multiple times where I've gone off coffee for 6 months. I found no difference whatsoever. And so I enjoy coffee. It's a social lubricant. It's like drinking beer. I don't drink too much beer these days, like right now. Like, that's a lie. I had like 8 beers the other night. But from now on, I won't be drinking too many beers, so I'm going to keep the coffee in the diet. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Coach?
So you're about to start doing some hard efforts, mate. You're going to need the caffeine that's in the coffee.
You reckon?
Yeah, like, as long as it's in moderation. How many do you have a day?
Maybe 3, tops.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah.
3, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of research out there saying that's probably healthy.
Yeah, right.
In certain ways.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's get into it. So Steve just said to me he wrote an article, it's on Cycling Tips, about Chris Froome's data. So go check it out on Cycling Tips. It went up today, yeah?
Yeah, just before, I think. Not long ago. Maddie didn't even put it up.
Okay. Yeah, go check that out. But for now, back to me. We are going through our data.
We're comparing extremes.
We're comparing Froome's data to my data. And by the way, I'm on my Canon G7X because I've just come straight from work and I don't have the big camera, so this will have to do. All right, let's do this. What are we doing?
So from our step test, we got what I call your athlete profile.
Okay.
All your data, all the numbers from that maximal aerobic step test that we did.
Yeah.
To get what your VO2 max is, get what your threshold is, all those numbers are in here.
Right.
This is what I give to my athletes or anyone who's come in for a step test. So it's pretty simple. I just run through your testing history.
Yep.
So as you do more tests, it all goes into this report.
Yeah.
It has some reference values.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can compare yourself to everybody else.
Yeah.
It has the actual results of your tests, of what your heart rate was at any given power and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It has a couple of graphs.
Yeah.
just your heart rate, your RPE. We have your power meter calibration.
Yep.
To show that your SRM was working spot on,
Yep.
which is what we want to see. We have your, what I call your data summary and predicted power durations. So from your test, your power at VO2 max was 283 watts. From that I can predict how long you can hang on to that for. So for VO2 max it's somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes, based upon your threshold of, what was it, 233 or something like that. You're going to be able to do about 250 something watts for about 20 minutes. Yeah, so we give you that feedback to prepare you for the program. So when I tell you to do a 20-minute effort, you're like, all right, I know I'm going to be able to hang on to about that. Otherwise you'll go out at 350 and completely blow yourself up. We've also got your body comp numbers, which is pretty easy. But probably one of the most important parts is your training zones. Yeah, so you can, I've got them ready to go so you can cut them out and stick them on the stem of your bike and things like that for quick reference. We've even got a standardised warm-up protocol, so if you're going to be at a race, it's like, what am I going to do for warm-up? Instead of calling me, I can go, there's a standardised warm-up protocol in your report. We've got what your training zones actually mean. So what is zone 2? How should it feel? How hard is it? What is zone 4? What is zone 5? You know, going full gas in zone 6 and 7. And that's about it. We can we've defined you as an athlete. We've profiled you as an athlete profile. We've got what your physiological capacity is. We've got what your body type is. And we've got what you're capable of doing, predicted numbers wise, on the road. And match that up with what your numbers were in training peaks. So we can match those numbers up. And then you're ready to go. Program time.
So what numbers out of that whole report should I be looking at? What are the top numbers that I should be looking at?
Main ones are your FTP, 233 watts. Your maximal aerobic power, which is your power at VO2 max, was 283 watts. Your body mass is in there, your height and stuff's in there. They're not that important to the training program. It's those power numbers that we want. It's that threshold heart rate, FTP power, and your maximal aerobic power, your VO2 max power. They're the key numbers that we use in the training program.
What zone will I spend the most time in over the next 4 weeks?
Hopefully you'll spend the majority of the time sort of zone 2, zone 3. So that's below threshold. That's a completely sustainable power output where you're still talking, you're still chatting away, but you're not going easy. That's going to get you to a point where you can then progress to the next level of going hard without doing one session on Monday and then taking till Thursday before you want to get back on a bike again.
So you sent me 3 other documents.
Yep, so I've given you a few. So we had the athlete profile, which we went through. We've got training terminology, which explains all of the terms I generally use in a training program. And I still make mistakes where I'll just pop in an SE. I assume everyone knows what an SE is, but some people will go, what's an SE? So it's a strength endurance effort or a strength effort. This document just runs through anything that might come up in the program. Yeah. What else did I give you? The Garmin.
How to set up the Garmin.
Yep, so that's pretty important. A lot of people don't use the lap button on your Garmin, and I can't understand how they haven't figured out how to use it. You set the screens up so you've got your lap time, your lap average power. So when you're doing a long, steady effort, you hit that lap button, you know how long you've been going for, you know how you're pacing it. If you're aiming for 250 watts, you know if you've gone out in the first 2 minutes because of that lap average power. If you're at 300 or you're at only 220 and you're supposed to be going a bit harder. That's this feedback as to how you're pacing the effort. Plus, when I look at it in training peaks, I can see all the laps that you've hit. So I want to see your 5 by 5 minute efforts. I can just click on the 5 minute first effort, see what your average power was, skip an effort, go to the next one, bang, there they are, and I can see it. That's, from my end, what a lap button does as well. So the Training Peaks one, how to set up the graphs to make best use of that platform. So you can see your peak power curves, you can see your training hours for the week, you can see your performance management chart, which is the balance between fitness and freshness and your chronic training load to see how fit you actually are. yeah, all that sort of stuff that I look at on a daily basis to see how an athlete is. And that's the beauty of Training Peaks, is that I can really tell you that you're feeling knackered today based upon those numbers. Like someone's raced 2 massive races on the weekend, I can look at the numbers and go, all right, we're going to give you Monday and Tuesday real easy, because at the moment you're at like neg 50 in your chronic training load or your TSB number, which is a representative of how fatigued you are.
Yeah.
And when we want you peaking for a race, we want to make sure that number's up at about sort of 0 or so you're fresh.
Okay.
That's, from my end, the numbers we look at and use.
So you have a Training Peaks coach account, and you can access my Training Peaks athlete account.
At the start, we sent you a link, and you just link your Training Peaks account to my coaching account, and I've just got all of the athletes I coach all listed in there, and I can just click on whoever I want, see their calendar, see their data. It's as easy as that.
Okay. Bit of a time trial specialist, aren't you?
I like my time trials.
Yeah.
I like the controlled environment of a time trial where it's, you know, if you get it wrong, it's your fault.
So Steve and I are just going for an easy roll, but we're on the crit course, the Hawthorne crit course, which has a little steep hill in it. I've actually done a few GoPro videos, but yeah, this is a tough little course, this one.
It's a beautiful day for it.
But it's a cracking day. Today's diet video, look, I've got to be honest with you, I knew it would incite a lot of reaction, but I think that's a good thing. I think specifically around this topic, it's an opportunity. What I'm doing over the next few months while I get fit, it's an opportunity to discuss diet, because we all know that diet is a critical component to this training. You know, I can go out and do 800 kilometers a week, have a crap diet, and still be carrying around a gut, right? I know that because I've done it, okay? Not 800 Ks a week, but I've done like 400 to 600 Ks a week in the past, and I've still had a little bit of a tummy, you know, in years gone by. So with a really clean diet and a good training program, you can really get to your next level. So I really want to open up this dialogue, and you know, I want to say something else, guys. There was 140 comments just a second ago. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night when I checked, and everyone was very respectful and, you know, pretty well behaved in the comments, which is, I've seen on other YouTube channels people just going absolutely crazy. So I want to thank you for that. I think we've got a pretty mature sort of audience. And I noticed Durian Riders chimed in, and you know, he's had a lot of success with Raw till 4 and just smashing the fruit down. And so, you know, these questions really need to be looked at. It's great that Durian Riders putting his insight in. It'll be good to get some insight from some other people. It'll be great to see what Stephen Lane says about diet. And so we'll explore this over the next few months. Obviously, everyone's got their own opinions. Let's just, you know, not get too psycho about it. Let's just, you know, respect other people's opinions. And, you know, we're just going to explore it and explore what people think. So, Stephen sat down with me today. We had a really good chat, as you guys know, and I've covered that base. Now, tonight, he sent me through, through on my Training Peaks, which I've got up here now. He sent me through some stuff. So you can see up the top right here, if you look up the top right, my FTP. Now, my FTP, for people that don't know, I'll just quickly explain. Your FTP is just a functional threshold power. It's a power output that I can work around, you know. I can use that figure and I can go, right, I need to be at 80% of my FTP when I'm doing this effort, which is obviously just slightly under 233. Or I need to be 20% over my FTP. So you can sort of have goals and targets and things like that to work with. Now tonight, Stephen, who's got his coaching account, has inputted all of these things for the week. So you can see tomorrow, Steve's got me doing an hour, so planned hour, and he wants me doing 3 8-minute efforts, SEs at 80 to 90% of my FTP. So 80 to 90% is going to be around, you know, 210 watts at a low cadence, 60 to 70 RPM. with 5 minutes recovery between each of these. So I'll either do that on the road, I'll find a hill where I can ride it for 10 minutes, or I will do it on the trainer. And then we've got an hour and a half with some threshold efforts, 2 hours on Thursday, an hour recovery on Friday. Saturday we've got a few 3 hours, and then Sunday an hour and a half, bunch, easy sprint, something like that. And then on Monday he's got me on a day off. So he's got me on a rest day on Mondays. So I will intermittently show you this as we go along, and you guys can take a screenshot and do whatever you want. Now, if you wanted to do your own step test, right, I would go across to Shane Miller's channel. You guys have seen Shane Miller in a heap of my vlogs. Shane is doing daily videos. He is banging out the content. If you're not following, he has rapidly gone from well, not zero, but pretty low, to 3,722 subs as of now. And the guy is just picking up subs left, right, and center. So you need to get on to Shane because he's banging out quality cycling content. Okay, so if you want that quality cycling content, and even his vlogs are great, so check him out, Shane Miller on YouTube. But he did a how to do a step test video that you can do at home on your own. So he goes through that. Here's the video here, how to do a step test. It's actually with Dr. Lane again, and so he talks about this in great detail. So go check out that video. And that's about it for today, guys. So Training Peaks, I've got a premium edition account. You can get on that. You can't use, like, you could use Strava, but the thing is, for coaching, Stephen needs to communicate with me via the Training Peaks platform. So if you got any questions about this stuff, I'm going to get into the program tomorrow, and I'll keep you guys updated on a weekly basis. I reckon on a Monday, I'll go through all my diet and what I did for diet stuff and weights and things like that, just so it doesn't make the rest of the vlogs tedious. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Should I be doing it daily? Should I update you guys weekly? And yeah, that's about it for now. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Sorry for rambling on. We'll see you then. So with regards to Training Peaks, why can't we do this in Strava?
Look, Strava doesn't have that ability to be able to, for me to have access to everybody's data. I can see, like everyone that I follow on Strava, I can see their data, but it is relatively restricted. I can't give someone a training program on Strava. I do use Strava for my athletes. If I want you to do like an all-out 5-minute effort, I'll say go find a segment near home or somewhere that you know is about 5 minutes long and have a crack at that segment, because that's this extra added motivation during that effort to be able to do it. You know, or go out and for many efforts, like that is also a personal reference to how you're going at any given time, as to how you rate against your previous performances on Strava. It's, you know, it all goes hand in hand. I wish there was one program that encompassed everything. I wish there was. But
Strava needs to buy Training Peaks.
Yeah, Strava will do a pretty good job with Training Peaks. Strava should just do it on their own.
Yeah.
Off switch, do it Strava.
Do it.